welcome you again. We're going to have an interesting chat, hopefully. This will be your microphone, this is his, and when it's time, you can wear the headset so that you can hear yourself. And if you don't feel like yourself, that's okay as well. So, we're going to be discussing a number of things. The show runs for 55 minutes from.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time to talk about different things because we usually start with the box office numbers, but so far we've not been given much in terms of the Cinema Exhibitors Association and other independent releases on box office numbers. Maybe we're going to start with yours, how much it has grossed so far, and you don't know?
I don't know if I want to.
Okay, we will talk about that.
No, the last time the songs.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. That's okay. And we'll also talk about. There's a part where I run through some of the top 10 on the streaming platforms. It's just something we do to let people know what's showing on the streaming platforms. Although we did not mention the name of the streaming platform, just color pages. And yeah, then we get on to what's happening in Hollywood for today. It looks like we're going to be talking entirely about what's happening in Hollywood. So beyond talking about some media, we also get your view on some other things happening. Because I know you moderated the panel session at Africa, where they were talking about South Africa getting the money. Well,
Technically, it's like collaboration.
That's not what it sounds like. So, all of that and breaks in between. Irabo should join us. Irabo is our analyst. So, mic's up in 8 seconds.
Just before I came, I had a salad.
We are live.
We're trying to make things easier. There's no time to rush it when we get there.
Studio. Love music and love life. Welcome to the show that discusses everything that liberates you in terms of the movies, the series, the animations, the documentaries, and we tell you what's up in the Nollywood, Hollywood, Bollywood, every other wood that churns out movies. So this is a part of the show where you want to be glued to. I mean, every Friday from 11 till 12 o'clock, this is how it goes down on the station that loves music, loves life, and loves movies. So welcome to Film Focus.
Do I win a prize if I see where this? Do I win a prize if I see where this music is from?
Everybody knows where this movie is. All right, let's come back in. Welcome. Yes, we get to have so much fun, not just with the music, but with the movies, because it's Friday. Everybody should have a watch list, what they should want to watch for the weekend, because we know that the adult life can be a little stressful. So this is your chance to get yourself what to watch for the weekend and get away a little bit from the responsibilities of the adult life. Film Focus is the name of the show, and my name is Oluwaseun Olusegun. We're currently live on YouTube, so it means that you can see us because I never walk alone. So you're welcome to join the party and have so much fun and contribute to all the things we have on the agenda for this 14th of November 2025 on Film Focus. The WhatsApp line is 0911 999 0981. Again, 0911 999 0981. And you can also join us on YouTube that I just mentioned. That will be at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. At Smooth 981 FM Lagos. So last week when Irabo and Oris were discussing Astochino Samede, and I said, well, guess what? We might have the who is who as touching the release of that particular film in the studio today, all things be equal. But today, all things are indeed equal, and we have in the studio the ones who made the movie and brought it to the cinema so that you can enjoy it and criticize it and tell us what it is that you think about it. And so in the studio with me, I do have a multifaceted leader and a seasoned finance and investment professional with over 25 years of expertise in that film. And it makes you wonder, why did you go into movie making? We're going to ask that question later on. She's the co-founder of Drug Aid Africa Initiative, alongside sitting on several cooperative boards. And she is the producer of Osamede, the movie. So please welcome with me, Lillian Olubi. Good morning.
Good morning, Shirley. Lovely to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. And in the studio, we also have someone who is a production and movie consultant. He is a film director as well as a television producer. And if you have ever seen the series Chitam, you know that he's the one in charge and behind it. So please welcome the director of Osamide, James Omokwe. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having us.
Welcome inside the Lion's Den. And I know this is something you're definitely familiar with since
Yeah, of
you have
course.
been on Titan, so you know how it is. Because we're ready with for you with questions. I'm kidding. It's
It's okay.
always
I'm here for it.
so. First of all, how's it going with Osamide?
Do you want to go?
I mean, it's going. I think that it's. I think what's more important is what people feel when they go see the film. We've been to the cinema so many times with a couple of people. I've seen reviews. I've heard people talk about the film. I think that at the end of the day, when you make something and people feel good about it, I think that's the most important part. And I mean, I know there's so many ways to measure the success of a film, but like I said, we put in our heart and soul. People love the film, and we're happy with with how people feel about it. I think that's the most important part for me.
I like it. Okay, now before I do have a lot of questions, and that's why I said that we're going to start with I personally. I'm curious about why you decided to make this film or be tell the story. That's how I'll put it. And considering your track record and what it is that you do, why did you choose this particular story, the Sameda story?
Okay, it's quite a long story, and I'll try to, talk about the bits in between for the sake of time. I think, first of all, for me, it's kind of a
Mm,
homecoming, I would like to say, in that even though I've been in finance for the past 25 odd years, I think innately I identify as a storyteller. And so this sort of, translation to this sector, it's coming back to base. And so over the years, even though I was core finance, I've always tried to feed that expression in little ways in different formats. I've authored a book and done a bit of poetry and writing in the past. And then I got this, what I like to call a vision, really, from God. It was just really in a random time of prayer, and this idea came of this story that was slightly akin to the story of Queen Esther, the biblical Queen Esther story, but had the trappings of a cultural sort of momentum, and the picture was really in the Edo way, is the way I can say it. Maybe it was like a 10, 15-second picture, but it was very strong in my heart. I just really felt it was something, almost like a download. And then I of course, spent the latter days, the remaining days, trying to unpack what that was about and trying to see how we could, bring it, extract it, juxtaposing that against everything that I hold dear in terms of my vision and passion for nation building, for shared prosperity, for inequalities, and all these things. And so I started thinking, what could this story be about this woman who saves her community, and what was the message I wanted to pass from the community growth standpoint. And so it was many years of that. And of course, the idea was literally like a stage play idea. And so I eventually had done a lazy synopsis, and then eventually gave it to a friend who's a writer to help develop it, to see what it was like. And then we had the first time she had done that, I saw, oh, this looks, this is a real story. And then I found the director. We did a stage play. I'm sort of rushing through the pathways, and we can probably step back on some of it as we go along. But we then did a stage play version of it in 2021.
oh,
Yes, we had 3 days of showings during Christmas, and then we came back again in 2022. Um, expanded the story, made it tighter, took the feedback from the first one, and did another version, 3 days of two showings per day in 2022. And then, as it was going along, the story was getting more interesting. There were so many backstories, so many layers of things I wanted embedded, especially with regards to the historic context of the Benin Kingdom and the invasion and all the many things that I thought the story had potential to do. And so then, I then had the idea to take it to the big screen. And then the journey came again to try and get that developed, waiting for screen, I beg your pardon. And quite a long journey to finding that script, and then finding James as the director, who then helped with developing that script again, and then all the many things we might discuss as we go along to making that happen. So we shot last year, 2024, and we're here today with a live product and in cinemas and a nice distribution pathway as we go along. So super excited. We told a beautiful story, and I'm very proud that it came to life, and that people are getting the message, because it's a very layered message, and I'm happy that people are seeing it and getting it.
Great. Thank you for the context because now it allows me a better insight into all the questions I'm going to ask. So, right after the breather, I will ask why James for that story that you told and the other things involved in Osamede and what you consider success. Because if I'm to infer from your explanation just now, let's say one of the what you would categorize as success for Osamede is the fact that it came to life, something that was probably just a blurry vision, a snippet, and now it's life, it's real, and some are enjoying it. So, what you would characterize as success for Osamede, and then we'll also take the questions of Yoruba as well. So, we'll take a breather, and when we come back, we'll launch fully into the questions. You're welcome to join us as always on YouTube and also on WhatsApp. Do stay with us.
A filmmaker, a critic, a writer. Simply call me Oris, and you're tuned to Smooth 98.1 for everything smooth. Stay smooth.
It's here, bigger, bolder, and definitely coming in hotter. The Lagos International Theatre Festival, LITF 2025. 20 productions, 2 days, one unforgettable festival. Join us November 15th and 16th at Musan Center. And guess what? Entry to the festival is absolutely free. Come and enjoy music, food, and art. Go to www.lagosinternationaltheatrefestival.ng to buy tickets for dated shows. Proudly sponsored by the Lagos State Government, Afrexim Bank, Chemex, Lek Oil, Amstel Malta, Letco, and Pillar Oil. Supported by Channels TV, African Movie Channel, Smooth FM, Trace Live, Tiger, Legend Twist, and Africa Magic. Powered by Terra Culture. MITF 2025, it's gonna be lit.
African music is taken from our forefathers. Been taken from different tribes.
The Casbah, every weekday from 1 p.m.
Everything about life is about rhythm.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to
Get
do
to
about
enjoy
that.
the best of world music
Yeah.
from around, both local and international. Here
Yeah,
on
it
Smooth
is.
98.1.
Unless I give an external microphone.
Must be represented in the music and the arts.
The Casbah, every
Unless I
weekday
give an
from
external
12 p.m.
microphone.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is
Alright,
Shay
well, like-
Shay.
Yes.
You are listening to Smooth 98.1. Give me love. Show some love.
Well, thank you for showing us some love by staying tuned to the station that loves music and loves life. Welcome to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. It's now 14 minutes past 11 o'clock on this 14th of November 2025. And we are talking with the producer as well as the director of Osamede, the movie. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Please help me. Did I get it right?
Almost.
So,
Day. So
Osamede,
Mede.
Mede.
Yes.
Rere. Okay, Mede. Okay, thank you. Osamede, right? Okay, so, and we have James Omokwe as well as Lillian Olubi in the studio. And we have our analyst, Iraba Okosu. Hi, Iraba.
Good morning, John.
Welcome.
Morning, Lillian.
Now, before I come to Iraba, before the breather, I said I was going to ask the question about how you found him, or did he find you, or why him?
So yes, I think I found him, if that's the word to use. And why him? So I mean, I say the story often. I came into the year that was 2024. I think that was the year, sort of extremely burdened, knowing that I had a very big picture in my mind of what I wanted this to be. And I knew how important it was for me to find the right partner on this journey. And so I wasn't casual about it. I was literally, all antennas up, prayers up to try and think about who to find. So I was sort of making inquiries, sort of looking around But on a certain day, I went to just, I think it was on YouTube, to try and search for a kind of person, right? And I remember thinking, and just to be super transparent, I think I was thinking, okay, maybe I need a director who's, an indigen of Edo State, right?
Oh.
And so I was just sort of thinking, could that be the angle? And I wanted, so I went online and I was Googling someone. And in the process of Googling that person, I then came across, his work, which was sort of similar to the things that the other person was doing. And I just was looking at snippets and I thought, I think this person would get the vision. This person, would see what I see. And then I just, did a bit of search and went to, I think, his Instagram page. And then I saw that he was friends with a friend. And I sent a message to that friend that, you know what, I think I'd like to be introduced to him. That this is what I'm looking for. And of course, he knew about the journey. This was Ike Osake.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so, of course, Ike, was, very welcoming to the idea, and of course, knew and emphasized his James's capability, so to speak. So it was an easy setup. And he said, "Oh, no problem. I'll get you on the call with him." And that's how it sort of, began. And it was also just around. And I say to James all the time, and people who know me, I'm very much an energy person. I'm very much a relationship person. And I wanted competence, but I also wanted a personality. Somebody I thought I could, walk this journey with comfortably. And I thought I saw that, and so that's where it began, and I was very happy. And of course, in retrospect, super grateful and happy about the choice, 100%.
Now, this is a part where we ask you, James,
Yeah.
what was in the script that made you want to work, or was it because of what gave birth to that story itself?
I've said this to her so many times, and I'll say it again publicly. That introduction happened at 11 at night. So Eke calls me and he's like, "Oh, someone wants to talk to you." And we spoke. And to be fair, I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're not serious, whatever." Because the thing is, I get a lot of people who say, "Oh, they want to do stuff." And we talk and talk and talk and talk, and it just never comes to fruition. She told me about the play. I'd done some research. I think it's really her drive, because Lillian drives me. Like, she's, when she's inside something, she's inside the thing. And, it's that energy, like I said, that I'm like, okay, like when we're half, like almost like maybe 10% in, then I'll pick up the phone, like, "Hey, so James, when are we?" I'm like, okay, and I feel like I'm not the one who's, capable and stuff. So I was immediately like, there was just some sort of connection, which is what is very important, when you're working with either an executive producer or someone who you're collaborating with. But most importantly, it was how we wanted to approach the story. And the film itself is quite different from the stage play. We did share some ideas. I thought that I wanted to do it from a particular perspective. Um, you know, uh, have a female heroine who's saving her people, go through certain things, and then I was very open to collaboration. I mean, we worked on it together. It wasn't it was just two people just believing in the project and doing it, and it shaped how the film came about. We did workshop, we workshop the thing together, spoke about how we wanted it to go, spoke about the vision, and Lillian was very clear. At the end of the day, I want people to feel this way. I want this message to be there, and we had to make sure that that was the message when people go away from watching the film. So I think for me, it wasn't even a case of did I enjoy the story. We built it together. It was just something that we made together, just because of the energy, the collaboration, and that's why we have the film.
Lovely. Arable. You've seen the film, so
Yeah.
talk to us.
So whenever we have guests on the show, I like to, especially people who are entrants, yourself, not him, maybe him in a way because of cinema.
Yeah.
So I like to allow the audience understand how you guys start to the end. Because a lot of people reach out, they want to be in the movie industry. They probably have seen Mabudu or something. They just want to be like Funke. Like they don't understand, the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, you've been in finance for a while. I'm sure some people be like, I want to be in finance. But it takes some things, So you've shared how you met, James, which is great. You're into research, so that's a good first step. But in terms of distribution, in terms of funding, in terms of characterization and everything, because it was a play, became a movie. How did you make those decisions, to arrive at the final product?
That's a very
Start with distribution.
well-rounded question. Okay.
Sorry, did you like the film?
We'll
get there. I just want to make sure.
My next question will answer that question.
No, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can start with distribution. Let me start from the mindset first in terms of what you were saying with moving from across industries. And it's very interesting because I think somebody saw me recently and made a comment about something. I paraphrase, but something like maybe, how do you feel sort of moving from a serious industry to an, I don't know how the person put it
I get it.
in my mind, and I thought, really? Like you think that this is light, like filmmaking is so, how do I put it? Like
strenuous.
Do you understand?
Immersive.
On every front. Yes, yes. And it is business. It is literally, you're creating a film, it's like literally birthing a business, start to finish. And so intense and so, and the industry has its challenges and so on. And so there are many things to it that definitely not for the faint of heart. And so I think that first of all, of course, being my background assisted a lot, and heading to the end question in terms of the approach. So first of all, apart from just being in finance, I've been literally building business. And so I co-founded a business, I've led a lot of projects. So there was that skill that, of course, one could transpose to the industry that we brought in, because it's sometimes sort of similar, verticals of how you approach success and going from vision to execution. And so what I think I would say to my credit was my acceptance to defer to the people with the expertise, knowing the area of my strength and the area where I didn't know about. And it's sort of it was similar also with the stage play, in finding the director at the time who had ideas about certain things, and I didn't want to be just stuck on my own way, but understanding this person had done plays, over 50 plays, you have to exactly. And we saw the outcome of that. So I could have also been in a tight, you know how there's a time when you can hold something.
Baby, you don't want to give it out.
Thank you. And this, interestingly, similarly happened, I think, with James when I came to him, and I thought I had a near perfect product. And he had another idea, yes, and we went back to the story workshop, which now I look back and I'm thinking, gosh, thank God I didn't resist that. Thank God that, I didn't fight that, because I can see the value of what that advisory was. And I think just in terms of, so I think a bit of a balance that, you hold the vision and you know what's important to you, but being able to defer to the people who have the expertise in the areas that they do was obviously key. Secondly was, I think, I've spent a lot of time sort of building network and relationships. I'm very much a relationships person, and in every area, even including distribution and the right partners, it was all about how do we sort of knowing all the parts that you need to build this. And I was not deluded about the challenges. So I had the advantage, of course, on the finance side of some network and relationships I could draw from to try and raise finance. And thankfully, I had some goodwill as well, and maybe some track record, even not in film, but track record in other sides, that people could say, "Oh, I can trust Lillian with this," even though this is her first time in this particular field. And so we drew that extensively. I honed all of that network and all of that aggressiveness to try and persuade people to join in. And of course, the next step being finding the components of the sales agent / distributor that would run the journey with you, and all these many other things, which was really just finding those parts.
Let me cut in, answer the funding part.
I would cut in at this point because we need to take a break. And when we come back, you can continue with that. You're listening to Film Focus on Smooth 90.1.
98.1.
Okay, I need to trouble you all a little bit, minus your robot. So I'll need to give you this. I see that there is a little bit of audio issue on YouTube.
Whether you're flying for a family celebration or a much-needed reunion, fly Emirates and start your holiday on board. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi. Enjoy special meals and toys for kids, and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. Choose from over 150 destinations, including Dubai, India, the UK.
She shipped to you.
No, this way, because
now,
camera.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
Am I okay?
Love music.
yeah.
Which one is
Just move a little.
To the voice of the one and only.
Okay, we're not positioned right.
We're not because of the phone. We're streaming on YouTube.
Okay.
Smooth 98.1.
Okay, so you can go back to your question. You're listening to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1, 26 minutes past 11 o'clock, and we are having what you can call a panel session on Osamede Day. In the studio with us is James Omokwe, the film director, Lillian Olubi, the producer, as well as Irabo Koson, our analyst, and my name is Oluwaseun Olusegun. So before the breather, Irabo had a question. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, I mean, the funding aspect, I think she's covered it because of experience in finance. So a lot of people have that problem, so they don't really know where to go. A lot of films are in the shelf because of that. But at the end of the day, when you have your film, let's say you have your amount of money that you speculated that would be enough for the film. Now, because it's cinema, it's not TV, it's not YouTube, it's not festivals, it's different. Cinema is more about the box office trying to make money. What were your expectations, with Osamede with regards, the output? Were you just looking to bring a film to cinema, or you were looking to make money off it, or it was because you had the play and you felt maybe, okay, I think you were talking about yearning, wanting to, do it. Was it for Osamede or for something else, or you just needed to drop a film, or was it Osamede specifically? Then, when you chose to do that film, Osamede in this question, what was that journey of picking the distributor?
Okay, let me go with the first thing that you said, which was, and I think I've forgotten it, gosh.
What was your expectations?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I know how it sounds like, I'm speaking a lot to the story and what we wanted. And yes, that was where it came from. But I raised institutional capital, right? There was no how that I would have been deluded enough to think that it was all about the impact that I wanted the film to make. I was hopeful from the start that we could make a socially impactful film and also a commercially viable film. And I thought we had the ingredients to do that. I was persuaded about the quality, that if we did it right, and the message and the audience that we thought would appreciate Osamede, that we would have a winner. And so in terms of my expectation, it was everything. And so people sort of say, which pathway do you want to go? And right, literally from the pitch deck I wanted us to be in festivals. Because I thought it was a good festival film. I didn't see a lot of epics in festivals, but I thought there was something about this. And so it was there, clearly, I wanted that pathway. Secondly, I wanted a cinema run. I thought it was a beautiful film to watch on the in a cinema. It's a very theatrical looking film. It's nice when you have an epic. So I wanted that opportunity for people to have a cinema experience of Osamede. And then thirdly, and which I thought was the more profitable aspect was that I wanted, of course, to be bought by a streaming platform.
Okay.
And based on the numbers and the research, it was very clear that the festivals weren't going to give you that. They were going to give you exposure, and it's what it is. Cinemas also, I've been quite an observer, so there was no delusion there as to how cinema acts. And this is not, you can argue, it's not that sort of, I don't know how to use the word, it's not sort of your mass, it's not the usual slapstick, it's not the way that it has a certain character. There's the way that you have to sell that film. That's not the usual way that maybe Nigerians, get the offering of sales. So there was all of those that I knew were slightly, I wouldn't say against us, but they were just the realities of this kind of movie. And so I'm hoping, of course, that the third leg that will gain that margin would be not just only the cinema run internationally, which by God's grace we have. We're going to a few countries. And it's interesting because from the feedback also and as I always believed actually, that I was certain that we have an interesting kind of appreciation of this film even from the diaspora audience. And we can see it even from the festivals, the feedback that we're getting. There's quite a big level of appreciation from this. We even won the best feature in the Silicon Valley African Film Festival. And so it's nice that we took that there. And we're hoping, of course, that on this leg that we get a nice third leg that is between that and the international distribution, cinematic distribution, that we have some viability there apart from impact. So yes, the vision was both to have a culturally impactful.
So from what I get you saying is you're hoping that streaming would also make up for that too.
Oh, certainly.
Do you have any deals in place?
Closed, no, but we're on the journey.
Okay.
We're very much on the journey.
My distribution question for you that time was because I saw Nile distribute your film. Nile is an offshoot, well, not an offshoot, but the former executive from Film, is the owner of Nile. He knows everything about the industry, but it's a relatively new, institution. Was there that bias because you two are relatively new, you chose them, or because when I saw your film, we met at a Free last year. I saw snippets, you did some interviews, I was like, oh, okay, I'm a do, so I was like, Oshe, market share for us. No, not only Yoruba, so I was very excited, So I was just watching, okay, who are they going to go with? My man, is it Cinemax, is it Film One? So did you approach them or they approached you? Maybe they saw you shooting a film and they were like, we would like to have dibs on this. How did that work? Just as you were talking about the way you met James.
Yeah.
Did that happen the same way?
So let's say we kept we were very open with all the, even early in the stage, even I think was it when we were shooting, we were already sort of open and having discussions with as many people. I think for now, what we did like was the energy. They bought into the vision quite early. They saw and they were extremely, what's that word I would use? Persuaded. They loved it. They knew we had something. They liked the uniqueness, and it was really the energy, I think, that made us feel inclined that these people, understood, and were passionate about it as much as we felt that we saw the same passion that we had in the film. And of course, I had actually been in touch with Moses coincidentally when we had the play. I had recorded it and had an idea to be able to put it in some format in the streaming platform. So we had those early discussions, and then of course he's quite well aware of James's work as well, and I think has huge appreciation for James as a person. So I think seeing that, I think he was very keen to. The company was very keen to partner with us, and then we liked that enthusiasm, and we said, yeah.
Did you switch anything? Like when you talked about your story, James kind of knocked down so many things and had to put other things. Did your distributor kind of give you any advice as to how to?
No. We had pretty much a finished product rather in that regard. So no, not that.
They didn't even invest. They just distributed.
Yes. And then of course the advisory is really just around knowing the lay of the land and what this kind of film requires and the challenges that might have and all of those kinds of things versus input into the story. No, we had already tidied that up.
Okay. All right.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I thought you were done. I was going to say that. So this is about where you answered James's question about how you like the movie or what it is that you were going to give.
To James's question, when I saw the film, if anybody's going to release a film on YouTube or take it to festivals or on TV, I don't really have any judgment with, let's say, their casting or any other component. This is something that they just digest. It's done with, But a cinema film, in my own opinion, from the experience I have in Nollywood, is you have to also play the game, but also still kind of keep yourself. So, cinema to me is a business, and the structure right now is casting is very key. And when I was checking out your film last year, even I was like, what are they going to put? What are they going to do? Is it going to be strictly Edo? Is it going to be strictly Edo, English, Pidgin, what's the mix going to be about? So I think, in my own opinion, where I kind of don't relate to it or understand why it was done. I don't understand. That's why I'm asking all these questions. Especially the question of, did your distributor advise this or that? They have the power sometimes. They let you know what's going to sell, what's not going to sell. But from my own little Rabo experience, I did research. I said, we have Inidima, we have Adesua, we have Osas, we have Nancy, we have Lillian Afebai, we have, those are the ones I can remember. So I was like, I've never been to the play. So because of cinema, get me, I was like, I think they could have found a way to cast or not make it totally an Edo speaking film, because it has the potential to be a submission for Nigeria for Oscars because of just the trappings and what's required.
Right,
so, but to push the film, in my own opinion, I thought the casting could have been better, adapting to if those actors or actresses may not be able to speak. Like, I can't speak my language.
Where are you from?
I'm from Eguari.
Okay.
So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, so adapting to like, okay, let them speak English or let them speak Pidgin, just kind of, so did you think to cast those people, or you just thought, okay, this is the vision, we're sticking to it, come rain, come sunshine?
So let me even answer that. Let me answer the question, and I really appreciate the feedback. But did you enjoy the film?
The reason I'm going like this, see, the way we do it here.
No, don't worry. No, I'm just
no. The way we do it here is we try to figure it out first.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to come at somebody and be like, I didn't enjoy the film. I want to understand
why
first.
We did what we did.
Then I'm like, okay, it's because of that. I'll give you an example. I don't know if you've seen Yahoo Plus.
Yes, I have. I know the filmmaker who made the film.
Okay, so Yahoo Plus now, they too first timers.
Yeah.
But if you watch that Yahoo Plus, you know that Namoni do them. But they're creative in how they executed it. So I can't now come and like, this film is not good because I have to understand where they're coming from.
Okay, let me speak about the casting and some of the choices that we made. So I think that let me talk about the cinema. So I've been doing this for 2010.
I thought you were doing this since you were born.
No. And I've released the film and it didn't do great.
2010?
Yeah, 2013.
2013.
Yeah, but most of the time we've sat down and we've studied. I've done my study and to watch how things go and so on and so forth. So here's the thing about Nigerian cinema, it's luck. It's not, there's no...
Entirely?
It's luck.
No.
No, I'm coming. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you. Sometimes on our radar, we look at the films, it's the films that make money that you know of. Do you understand? So you see a certain movie, you're like, oh man, okay, then you start to research. There's so many films that have come in the cinemas that I've had so many people inside, didn't make any money at all. There are many films that have had like notable faces. The point is that there are a lot, especially from distribution, and I don't know that I want to go into it. So I'll give an example. There are lots of things that are at play. So for instance, number of screens that your film has versus number of screens that someone else has. There's also marketing. There's too many other things. At the end of the day, it is the viewer's choice to go and watch it or not. Now, when we have conversations with the distributor, the truth is, it's all fingers crossed.
Okay.
It's very fingers crossed. Okay. Now, the other part is that when you're making a film like this, one of the reasons why we wanted it to be authentically African is because we aren't necessarily, like she said, like Nigeria isn't the only place that we want this film to be. And if I want somebody, I've done epic films. I'm a TV guy. I've done epic films. Like, that's what I do.
I've seen it. Oh, so.
Now, for me, I'm like, if I want to do something that not just Nigerians will appreciate, I want to do something that every other person will appreciate. In fact, Lillian had a conversation. She wanted it to be a mix of English and the language, and I was like, no, let's do it like this. Now, here's what makes me happy. And she spoke a bit to it. I can't say much about it, but I'll say it. When we were at the Cannes market and the film finished, we were supposed to have a 10-minute Q&A. 45 minutes of people talking about the film, and the film wasn't even finished. Like, it was just like, it's not what you have now. And you find out that there is an audience outside of this country that absolutely adores the film. And I remember that, again, I don't know, I'll try to code this, but I remember that there was a certain human being who took us out to dinner at 1 a.m. and was willing to bring out paper to say, let's have an agreement. And so the beautiful part about this is we look at what the film has done here in Nigeria. I mean, we studied how it is, and we know our shortfalls. We know what we could have done better. We are just appreciative of the fact that, people went to see the film and did well. However, we're also grateful, and I know that she's being a bit modest, but we're also grateful that you see that place that we went to, we came with something, and we're confident already. We're not necessarily, we're like, okay, hopefully if it comes to a streaming platform, more people will see it, hopefully, but it's done what it's done, but we'll do it somewhere else. However,
I try as much as possible, and I hear you when you say there needs to be a balance where, okay, you need to look at the system, you need to do this. I hear you. And again, we're not trying to say that, oh yeah, we knew what we were doing from the get-go. But all the choices we made were the right choices for the film. I don't think the authenticity of the story wouldn't have made sense if they spoke English. I probably wouldn't even have loved watching it. If the guys who are doing epic movies on Netflix, Yoruba throughout, they're not apologetic about it. And I get that, it's cinema, but it's consumer behavior. We do marketing right, you do something well, people will love it at the end of the day.
No. Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to hold that thought. You would have to hold that thought after this. You're listening to Film Focus on Smooth 90.1.
Are listening to
But I get you. I get you.
Your love music, love life station.
I get you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I'm saying that I get you, but like.
We don't even speak off here. I want to say everything on air because
No. I get you. I'm saying that we can even continue to, but I'm saying that cinema is really luck.
It's not by data.
There's what?
Like it's luck. Like
Maybe not all.
Maybe not all. So maybe not all.
20% luck.
No. So I'll give you an example.
Talked about this.
Luck to the extent that it's not guaranteed. Having those star power is not guaranteed.
It's
We have
not
the evidence
guaranteed.
that there's many times it doesn't work that way.
Okay, give me an example of something. Just give me an example of one film that you know that they did the right things and they made money. And don't say Funke Akindele.
No.
Okay, which one?
No.
They heard.
So, The Herd has made, technically, they've done great. They've made, 100 and something million.
They're going to 200 now.
But they haven't made the money for the film. At the end of the day, and they're going to Netflix now, and I don't know how much they paid them directly.
This is what I'm saying.
Sunday morning with great motivational music for your mind.
If you look at The Herd, Daniel's the first time
Film and director.
But he's an actor.
Speed of motivation.
I don't understand the point.
So I'm saying that that cinema space.
But Aaron is an actor. Aaron has not made anything from cinema.
Which one?
He made a film.
He hasn't made.
It's not covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Station. Keep listening.
Thank you for listening. It's now 43 minutes past 11 o'clock, and it feels like we're only just scratching the surface of what all the questions we would like to ask us touching Osamide. Unfortunately, there is no podcast, so I guess we would have to continue this later on maybe the platforms, but the time that we have, yes, we will try to dig into other questions. You can equally join us on WhatsApp, and that will be 0911-999-0981. Again, 0911-999-0981. That's the WhatsApp line. If you're sending a message for the first time, please include your name and your location. You can join us on YouTube at Smooth 91 FM Lagos. On WhatsApp, Eloha from the African Movie Academia What says, good to hear about the film this morning. Good morning, Smooth FM. Well, good morning to you too. Now, let's go back to that issue of luck and the question you had, Yorabo.
Yeah, so you said you did your last film 2013. Okay, so we've had so many, dispensations. We've had somebody come to office, that's Buhari 2015. Things changed in Nigeria. We had COVID. 2019, in my own opinion, if we didn't have COVID, Nollywood would have boomed further. But COVID happened, destabilized us. Then we tried to come back, which, I give us kudos. Then there are different eras, in my own opinion, with regards to Nollywood in the past 10, 15 years. So adjusting and understanding the market, helps in knowing what film to bring, what money. Director to use what, producer, what, cast, whatever it is, story and all that. So I believe it's not lost because I've done PR for, I would say, 65% of Nollywood films that have come to cinema. Partially did PR for The Herd. One of the things I told them, I said, you guys came to me very late. You should have done this PR since February. In fact, I was at the showcase, I saw it. The only thing they showed was just a 10-second clip, so there was nothing to get from it. But the fact that they were able to shoot Kunle in the beginning, that's like, okay, what's going to happen after this? So people would want to look forward to it. So it's an art and a science, in my own opinion. Luck, yes. I can give you some insights to some actors. Nancy is not that bankable in cinema. Jemima Osunde is not that bankable in cinema if you check all the films that they've done. But using them in a story that is related to their state, them speaking the language or not, will be a good play because people would want to relate to that. There are so many things to it, but all I'm saying is that it's not luck, Sha. I know that one for sure. some people might decide to want to dance. They may decide not to want to dance. They might decide to want to do billboards, do radio, do whatever. But I feel that the story and the time of year and the distributor is very, very key. In my own opinion now, recommendation would have been use a distributor like Fillmore because of their experience distributing epics. Their marketing is very, very key. I know full well that those people, if you come to, I've taken people's films to them. I've taken people's films to even Cinemax or even Genesis, not only just Fillmore. But the thing is, what I've noticed is, because they understand cinema, they will tell you, see you, let's do like this, let's do like this. There are some films that people agreed to, that they actually made 100 and something, 200. There's some people that they didn't agree, their film made 50. I'm not saying that you guys made it, I'm just saying because I'm a do. Let's establish that. Like, I was really, 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 really hoping that, I want to
1 billion.
No, not 1 billion, 250.
Okay, so I hear you, and there's a lot of other things that we can, say offline. And what you've said is very valid, right? I think the long and short of the story is that we're very happy that we went with Nile. I think that there's more on the back end, which I am not privy to discuss on air, as to why certain films do. It's just not a straightforward science. Again, and you know this because by the time you've been on that side, and then you are at the back end having conversations with distributors, you start to realize, okay, this is where we are. And this is why I said that, yes, you're right, maybe it's not like law, but it's just not straightforward. And before this film, I used to talk to Lillian, I would sit down and watch other films. So that's why I'm saying that sometimes we hear about the big ones and this one made this money, and there are other films that we probably haven't heard of that some of these people have distributed. At the end of the day, I think that the experience is what is important, and for us, we're trying to do this more in a global approach. Like, Nile is great, they have advantages. Moses is a great guy, Kenneth is a great guy. At the end of the day,
all great guys.
At the end of the day, I think the point of it all is, if we did a film, did you enjoy the film? Do we have other distribution plans for it? And I think that's what's
and can I say something? Just this issue with the language choice, and I hear what you're saying, and from one metric. But when I look back, I think that this thing, which maybe you see as a disadvantage, or some may see, is one of the things that I feel most proud of in this movie, that we decided to do a language film. I'm mindful of the penalty that can give, right? But I don't know that we can continue in one way, that it has to be this set of actors to run a movie. It has to be this set of... Must it be that pattern? Like, at what point do we change? How many times can we say it has to be all about star power in this region? It has to be... Should we have bent that just to have, And so maybe it's the balance, right? And I'm hoping, and again, this is why we're talking about the audience, right? Thankfully, there's an audience that's not penalizing us for who is the star, or who they don't know who the star is. They want the craft. Obviously, there's an audience as well who's loving the fact that we did a language film, right? And so, I guess it's maybe that metric of the economics on the cinema side. We understand what it is, right? And so maybe it's to look at the whole picture and see if sometimes it's okay to go this route. There hadn't been any movie outside of this South, purely indigenous language film, epic, and we've done that. And we have to sort of appreciate that offering and then sort of see how we can milk
100%.
it. And
I appreciate it 100%. I'm coming to 1 minute.
Yeah, because we're running out of time.
I want to really clarify this. If all actors that are of Edo origin can speak the language, please, 100 billion% go with 100% Edo for the film. The only reason I'm suggesting English is for the sake that they may not be able to speak the language. That's all. That's the only reason I'm mentioning English here. I'm not saying you must know. I'm only mentioning English that, me, for example, I can't speak. So if I can now act, I have star power. Because it's cinema again, I mentioned earlier, if it's TV, if it's festival, no problem, go all out. But just because of cinema, so if they can speak, if Nati can speak, if Adesua, Lillian, all of them, like, if they cannot, please, that's what I would prefer. Hence me saying the Oscar thing, that the better the chances.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm coming from. Not saying that the film has to be English.
Yeah.
You know, that's my distinction. That's all. That's all.
All right, like I said, we can go on and on about this. 2 hours will not be enough. Maybe I should help rephrase the question in a very simple form. Why did you go for Evie Okujai, especially as she's been away from the scene for a bit?
Should I answer the question?
Yes, you can. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know any other person who would have played that role. I don't know any other person who would have given the authenticity of, like, let me tell you a funny story.
Yeah.
We're driving when we're doing recce, going to recce. And she asked me a question. She was like, oh, who do you think would play the role? I said, I don't know. I have somebody in my mind. She said, yeah, I have somebody in your mind. I was like, are you sure? She was like, all right, let's say it together. 1, 2, 3.
We both called the same second. I'm telling you,
and
the same millisecond.
And I was like, all right, do you get? And just looking at the film, which I've probably seen like God knows how many times, like I don't know that there would have been anybody. Maybe there would have been, but again, it's like that was destined to be her.
Yeah.
Again, like I say, from the feedback, you have grown white men sitting on the floor watching this film, and I'm just like, you know, somebody's crying somewhere and saying, oh my God, I'm back to my roots. I don't know who else.
I have an issue with it.
No. I know.
It is stellar.
Oh, she is.
I don't have an issue with you casting it. I mean, Farmer's Bride, Bubimi, Ejaya, and then Efe really.
Yeah, I love
that's great casting. So my point is, let's say all those kind of people like associated with the story, then you know, so that's what I mean. So if there was no other person, in my own opinion,
that could have carried.
I just wouldn't have carried that role. In my own opinion, if you was perfect, yes. I'm just talking about
the other. We did think about it, and we did talk about it in fairness.
But again, I'm happy that there's an Edo film that I can say, yes, we have. See it. I'm happy for that. 100%. Yeah.
All right, so if I'm correct, this is your first film that you've produced?
Yes, 100%.
So now I know that for now you still have Osamide as the full menu on your plate, but is there something that you want to go on doing in terms of production in Nollywood, or it's just an avenue to contribute to nation building and shared prosperity, and also helping to paint the story of Nigeria in another light to those outside?
Thank you, Sheil. I think it's twofold. It's first of all, yes, stories like this, obviously African, obviously social cause, just real good art. But also I'm coming to hopefully fill a gap with the background that I have in business. I think there's many parts in the industry that could do with some of that advantage. And I'm hoping beyond just doing productions of stories like this, to be able to support in some way on the film financing level, on the structure level, on the project management, on the advocacy, on the advisory, and things of that nature. So a combination of both things.
And for James, are we going to see more epic movies from you since you have a thing?
Yes.
I want to quit.
Hell yes.
He was about to quit when he became with the
So I was just tired of
go on holiday.
No, I was
now.
For me, I was just like, you know what, I just want to do something else, you know. And then I saw this, I was like, okay, you know, yeah. But you know what, if the opportunity comes and it's a good story like Osamide, yeah, I'll do it. Maybe a sequel.
Honestly, there can be. Of course. No. 1,000,000% they can be.
But yeah.
The many people are looking for a sequel.
No, there can be. But you said something else. What else are you looking at and doing, if at all?
So I mean, obviously, more films as we go along, but something I haven't. Yeah, but something I haven't said out publicly. I'm more trying to also solve problems in Nollywood on the business side.
What kind of problems?
Distribution, for instance. And not distribution as a whole. I'm not trying to save Nigeria, but just also profess some sort of solution. Meet me at the back.
Drop one that is droppable here.
So I think that, again, maybe not droppable. There's not much I can say, but the truth is that one of the biggest issues we have is distribution. We need more, when I say more screens, not necessarily cinema screens, we need just more eyeballs to watch some of our content, like at affordable, rates. I think one of the biggest things we have, yes, everybody's running to YouTube now, but data is expensive. People can't afford cinema tickets. The other day I took my son to go and see Superman and his mom. We spent about 34K on tickets and popcorn. Do you get? How many people have 34,000 naira to go and watch?
That's why a lot of people are seeing it.
That was like
yeah. Going to cinema is not like
So, some of those, things need to be looked into, and even if you're using tech or just, preferring some sort of solution, those are the kind of things I'm also thinking about apart from making films. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we need a lot of community cinemas, not commercial cinemas. True. Would be, understand, like where you can go and pay 1.5.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
I wish we had more time. Again, unfortunately, we're totally out of the time that we have allotted to this show, but I'm certain that we can continue this conversation. So what you can do is find them on socials at James Omokwe. Right?
Yep. The only James Omokwe.
At goldlilies_Lillian.
What is there a dedicated page for something?
Yes, Gold Lilies Productions.
Okay, so you can go there and ask as many questions as possible, and I believe you're also active on Twitter to engage them if need be. Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that. Wait, you're not active.
No, I'm saying more. He's more.
I'm more active.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Very active.
All right. So. And thank you for deciding to tell the story. It's a beautiful one. Now, again, I didn't have much to say because I'm yet to see Osamede, and it's because of...
Somebody was supposed to take you guys. Was he the one?
I was the one supposed to go there.
But I watched the video. No, it's okay. Because he promised you people tickets. I saw it. So.
We're out of time. Thank you. Thank you again for, I particularly love the intro, which I said it gives the context to everything, how it was, because it's quite palpable that you were passionate about the story, including the choice of the actor and so on. So thank you for having the passion to want to tell the story. I mean, we need more stories in Nollywood. We need different perspective. We don't just want to keep watching, love this, love that, love all of this. We have stories to tell. So what dig? Me.
That dig.
I don't know what you're hearing. She's not the only filmmaker. She's been
very
here.
troublesome.
He is. Anyway, so yes, again, and I say it again, that we need more stories and of course great quality that needs to also be improved in Nollywood. So this is where we draw the curtains for this film focus. Oh no, you're not going to go. Recommendations for the listeners. What should people watch?
Osamede.
Asides Osamede.
Asides Osamede.
Osamede.
Osamede that you put aside. Okay.
So people should watch Osamede, but they should also check out Frankenstein. I saw that yesterday. And then if you have Apple TV, check out.
What if they don't like horror?
That's the best streamer. Apple.
Yeah, they have good shows, everything. Have you seen Pluribus?
No, I'm not.
You should. Third episode comes out today.
A lot to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't watch a lot of movies. Am I correct?
No, I do.
She does.
I have definitely. I have my interests and types, but definitely.
So, what kind of movies?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Okay. What one example, for example?
Yes. One Hollywood.
Okay. Hollywood, if you call it a strict Hollywood. Origin.
The Origin.
Ava DuVernay. And that's my favorite at the moment.
All right. Then
old or new?
New.
Any.
New.
Why do you want?
Please, any.
Osamede.
Exactly right.
No. There's a reason I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah, just
we're out of time.
Thank you.
Wow.
See you next week on Film Focus.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my goodness. So how do you cope with Irabo in this place?
Oh, you think Irabo is a handful? Wait until you meet Ori.
So let me give you an example of what we were talking about. So the herd has 74 screens.
Yeah, he threw you under the bus there with money.
The herd, 74 screens. We have to.
Yeah, he threw you under the bus with all money. He put it in
you understand what I mean? So it's those are some of the.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again,
and what
it's business. If you went with them, how many screens would you have?
So let me give an example. It's not about them.
Yeah.
It is about. It's how do I explain this? It's
Thank you.
There's a word I want to say.
James,
It's
don't use politics.
no, I'm not trying to use politics.
James. The question, let me ask it again. Sorry.
So there was another film I wanted to give as an example. There was a film that came out. There was also